I've been involved in the Pioneer project for about 2 years now. I helped write the original RFP for the project, and then been involved in helping to bring it to reality by leading Work Package 3, which is focused around understanding different data sources and putting in place agreements to gain access to those data. So within Pioneer, we're looking at a lot of different kinds of data, all focused around prostate cancer. Some of them are cohorts, some of them are clinical trial data. Many of the data sources that we're looking to bring in are real-world data sources, so maybe insurance claims or could be EMR data. The importance of analyzing real-world data is to, first of all, understand how patients are actually being treated and understand, more importantly, what kinds of outcomes they're actually getting when it's being used in clinical practice. And I think the most important aspect is that even though the patients aren't being randomized in the context of real-world data, there's an opportunity to learn from each patient's experience and better understand how the disease evolves, as well as how different treatment strategies and approaches impact the patient. Work Package 3 has faced primarily challenges of building relationships with a number of the different data holders to the point where they're willing and comfortable to share the data that they themselves have invested a lot of time and effort in creating, and that they see that there's an opportunity for them as well as for patients to get better knowledge, make better clinical decisions, and hopefully have better outcomes for patients. An open dialogue, as well as working with the other memberships within Pioneer and leveraging their relationships with people and their knowledge and understanding, and the trust that they've built up with other potential data contributors over the last 20 years of their lives. So within Pioneer, we actually have two different data model approaches. One of them we call centralized, the other is federated. In this centralized version, the data contributor actually transfers data to us. And in that process, we de-identify it. We get a third party to certify that it's de-identified. And then we house it in a common central repository. In the federated model, the data actually stays with the data contributor. We transform it into a common data model that allows us to run research remotely against it without actually having to access any of the individual patient records. And so all the data, all the privacy, all the controls remain with the original data holder, and we just simply have the benefit of getting the summarized results of the analyses that we run. Well, the key goals are actually to start getting agreements signed. I mean, that's the bottom line. We have currently identified 23 different data sources that appear willing to contribute information, and we've prioritized them because you can't do everything at once. And so we've now identified 13 primary data sets that we're trying to build relationships with and get in place the data agreements that allow us to have the benefit of access to the data without infringing on either patient privacy rights or, frankly, the rights of the original data holders.